From soulful ballads
There'll be good times again for me.
to hard-hitting anthems, here are 22 songs from 1971 that changed rock music history forever. Starting at number 22, it's Stairway to Heaven.
Brinkley for the May Queen.
This hit track by Led Zeppelin in 1971 wasn't just a song, it was an ascent. It blended mystery, beauty, and fury into a single, sweeping masterpiece. Though never released as a single, it became one of the most requested tracks in radio history. With Jimmy Page's soaring guitar and Robert Plant's spiritual poetry, Zeppelin built a world inside of a song. Stairway to Heaven proved that rock could be both myth and meditation, thunder and transcendence all at once. Coming in at number 21 on our list, it's Imagine.
Above us only sky.
Released by John Lennon in 1971, it was a whisper that shook the world. Its melody floated like a dream, yet its message carried the weight of hope. The track climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Lennon's most enduring solo work. After the Beatles, he turned from stage to soul, preaching peace through song. Imagine remains humanity's hymn, a fragile, fearless plea for unity that still echoes through every generation. Moving on to number 20, it's What's Going On. This track by Marvin Gaye in 1971 turned sorrow into sound and protest into poetry. It reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reshaped the soul genre forever. Gaye's silky voice carried questions the world still struggles to answer today. In an age of unrest, he offered compassion instead of anger, melody instead of noise. What's Going On remains the blueprint for music that speaks to both heart and conscience. Moving in to number 19, we have Brown Sugar. This hit by the Rolling Stones tore into 1971 like a shot of pure adrenaline. It was gritty, loud, and unapologetic, and it topped the Billboard Hot 100 and defined the Stones' signature edge. Mick Jagger's swagger and Keith Richards' riffs fused danger with delight. The band was chaos wrapped in charm, and this song was their purest spark. Brown Sugar reminded the world that rock and roll was supposed to be wild, reckless, and thrillingly alive. Coming in at number 18, it's Children of the Grave. This song, released by Black Sabbath in 1971, was rebellion forged in pure distortion. Its pounding drums and ominous riffs became the rallying cry of heavy metal. The song warned of war and echoed the fears of a restless generation. Ozzy's eerie voice and Tony's riffcraft reshaped rock's darker edge. Children of the Grave wasn't just music, it was a movement of defiance that thundered across decades. Moving in to number 17, A Case of You.
I live in a box of pains.
Released by Joni Mitchell in 1971, this was heartbreak turned into pure poetry. This track never charted, yet it lingers as one of the most intimate love songs ever written. Her voice quivered with honesty, her words painted the ache of memory. From her landmark album Blue, the track showed how stillness could be profound. A Case of You remains an emotional portrait. It's quiet, it's honest, and it's also endlessly human. At number 16, it's Roundabout. This track by Yes, released in 1971, turned rock into architecture. Its spiraling bass lines, layered harmonies, and soaring keys built an 8-minute-long masterpiece. This song hit number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming progressive rock's crowning jewel. Yes combined mathematical precision with emotional depth, crafting sound that felt alive. Roundabout was proof that complexity could groove, and intellect could still make you move. Moving into number 15, it's Baba O'Reilly. This song, released by The Who in 1971, was the sound of restless youth finding its voice. The hypnotic synth loop in Roger Daltrey's soaring vocal made it an anthem for the lost and the fearless. The song never cracked the top 10, yet it became one of rock's most beloved openers. The The Who channeled chaos into catharsis, and Baba O'Riley became their cry of freedom, a heartbeat that never fades. And at number 14, It's Too Late.
There'll be good times again for me.
Released by Carole King in 1971, it captured the quiet ache of moving on. It held the top of the Billboard Hot 100 for 5 weeks and defined the sound of Tapestry. King's voice carried wisdom, strength, and sorrow in equal measure. Her writing gave emotion its own vocabulary. It's Too Late reminded listeners that heartbreak doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers and still leaves you breathless. At number 13, Changes.
So the days float through my...
This track, released by David Bowie in 1971, shimmered with transformation and self-awareness. Though it only charted modestly, it became Bowie's eternal reflection in sound. His voice danced between confidence and doubt, already hinting at the chameleon that he would later become. Changes was more than just a song. It was a prophecy about his career. And through it all, Bowie showed that identity is never fixed, only reborn, and it remains the soundtrack to reinvention itself. Coming in at number 12, it's Superstar. Released by the Carpenters in 1971, it was a heartbeat wrapped in harmony, a love letter sung through silence. Karen Carpenter's voice glided over melancholy strings, smooth yet piercing, carrying the ache of absence with impossible grace. Reaching number 2 on the Billboard, it turned unreturned love into something exquisite. Beneath the lush arrangement lay raw vulnerability, every note trembling with memory. Superstar wasn't just a song, it was sorrow refined, a soft rock masterpiece that proved heartbreak can sound hauntingly beautiful. Coming in at number 11, it's Dream On. This song by Aerosmith was a slow burn that lit the fuse of a legend. It peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became the band's enduring anthem. Steven Tyler's vocals embodied ambition, pain, and persistence all at the same time. The song reminded dreamers that time doesn't wait, but passion never dies. Dream On remains rock's timeless confession that even the hardest climb begins with a whisper of belief. Moving on to the second half of our list, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Coming in at number 10 is Money. This track by Pink Floyd turned greed into groove. Built on a 7/4 rhythm and the jingle of cash registers, it broke every rule of radio and still went gold. The song hit number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving that complexity could sell. Roger Waters' sharp lyrics sliced through consumerism, while David Gilmour's solo screamed rebellion. Money wasn't just a hit. It was satire disguised as swagger, brilliance hidden inside of an awesome bass line. Which brings us to number 9, Sweet Home Alabama. This song, released by Lynyrd Skynyrd, was pride set to a guitar riff. The anthem climbed to number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became the heartbeat of Southern rock. With its instantly recognizable intro, it captured both rebellion and hometown nostalgia. Skynyrd's swagger defined an era where freedom sounded like open highways and a lot of denim jackets. Sweet Home Alabama endures as a sing-along of roots, rhythm, and raw energy. Pulling into number 8, it's KASHMIR. Released by Led Zeppelin, it was thunder disguised as meditation. Built on John Bonham's colossal beat and Middle Eastern scales, it became one of rock's grandest journeys. Though it never charted high, it did become a concert epic and a symbol of Zeppelin's power. Jimmy Page's orchestration and Robert Plant's mysticism made it both hypnotic and explosive at the same time. KASHMIR remains proof that true heaviness doesn't always come from volume, but from vision. At number 7, it's Bohemian Rhapsody. No list would ever be complete without Queen. Released in 1975, it shattered every rule of rock and roll. A 6-minute opera with no chorus became a number 1 hit in multiple countries. Freddie Mercury's genius turned theater into thunder, emotion into pure spectacle. Its layers of harmony and chaos made it one of the most ambitious songs ever recorded. Bohemian Rhapsody wasn't just heard, it was experienced. It proved that imagination could be louder than any amplifier. Coming in at number 6, it's LEVON. Released by Elton John in 1971, this song was storytelling wrapped up in satin. It was a shimmering tale woven from melody and meaning. Bernie Taupin's lyrics built a world of faith, ambition, and inheritance, while Elton's piano glided like sunlight across stained glass. Peaking at number 24 on Billboard, it transcended the charts to become a parable of human longing. Elton's voice held both tenderness and ache, turning LEVON into myth and memory. It remains a portrait of quiet grandeur, proof that even empires begin with the hum of a dream. Sliding into our top 5, at number 5 is Family Affair.
You can't leave cause your heart is there.
This song by Sly and the Family Stone was funk stripped to its bones, a quiet storm built on rhythm and restraint. Driven by a drum machine and Sly's smoky, introspective vocals, it captured the uneasy calm of a changing world. Topping Billboard's Hot 100 for 3 weeks, it replaced the band's earlier euphoria with something heavier and a bit wiser. The groove was simple but haunting, like truth whispered in the dark. Family Affair wasn't loud, but it was lived in, wary and profound, the revolution learning to breathe. At number 4, it's Won't Get Fooled Again. This track by The Who was a revolution on replay. 8 minutes of defiance, prophecy, and pure electricity. Fueled by Keith Moon's thunderous drums and Pete Townshend's synth-driven riffs, it screamed against the false promises of change. Daltrey's final roar, Meet the New Boss, Same as the Old Boss, became an anthem for every generation disillusioned by power. It peaked at number 15 on Billboard, yet its message thundered louder than politics ever could. A timeless warning, rebellion without wisdom repeats its own mistake. Moving on to our number 3 spot, Love Her Madly. This track by The Doors, released in 1971, was Desire with a Swing, a song that danced between pop and poetry. Released just months before Jim Morrison's untimely death, it carried a bittersweet charm. Robbie Krieger's riff and Morrison's playful vocals pushed it straight into the top 20, yet beneath the melody was a quiet goodbye. Light, catchy, and irresistibly rhythmic, it captured the band's final flicker before the darkness closed in. Love Her Madly smiled through tragedy, proving that even farewells can echo with joy. Coming in to our number 2 spot, it's Maggie May. This song by Rod Stewart was rebellion disguised as romance, a confession wrapped in mandolin and memory. Stewart's gravelly voice told of a young man outgrown by love, torn between guilt and desire. The song climbed to number 1 on both the UK and US charts, transforming heartbreak into swagger. Its folk rock charm felt raw, human, and beautifully flawed. Beneath every grin was regret. Beneath every riff was truth. Maggie May wasn't just sung, it was lived, echoing the messy sweetness of mistakes that make us who we are. And coming in at our number 1, Ain't No Sunshine.
It's not warm when she's away.
Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers was sorrow distilled into soul. At just 2 minutes long, it carried more ache than symphonies ever could. Withers' weary voice, simple guitar, and that haunting repetition of I know turned loneliness into something universal. Recorded during his factory worker days, it climbed to number 3 on Billboard, proving that truth needs no polish. Every silence between his words felt heavy, human, and real. Ain't No Sunshine wasn't about loss alone, it was about recognition. The moment we realize love's warmth has left the room and only echoes remain. Which of these songs is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section. And while you're at it, please remember to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.